Welcome to my channel. I'm Kat, and let's get started with our project today. And I call it the Forget-me-knot crochet pattern. It's a really fun stitch to do, and let's get started. I've already done a chain of probably 20, I'm not sure. The stitch count does not matter for this particular pattern. And then I did a row of single crochet. So now we're ready to start the stitch pattern, and how we go about that is on your very first stitch, we are not ever going to be chaining up. We're going to go into that first stitch for a single crochet, and then we're going to go into that back loop of the single crochet right here and pull up a loop and then pull through those two loops. So we just created a chain 2. If you prefer a chain 2, go ahead with that. But this, I like this for this stitch pattern. It gives it a little more chunkier of a look. So the first stitch we're going to do after our chaining up, we're going to wrap our hook. We're going to go right into that stitch that we just worked and grab a loop and into the very next stitch and pull up a loop. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to pull through 3 and then 2. And again, wrap your hook, go into that same stitch that you just worked, pull up a loop, then into the next stitch and pull up a loop. 4 loops on your hook, pull through 3 and 2. And again, all the way down the line, wrap your hook first, go into that previous stitch and pull up a loop, and then into the very next stitch and pull up a loop. Pull through 3 and 2. And what you're doing here is you're sharing the previous stitch with the next stitch. So you're always creating the next stitch when you do that. So your double crochet cluster will have 2 legs, 1 in each stitch. And so if you're crocheting this and you find that one is standing alone, you probably missed the going back to the original stitch. So if you find that you have a double crochet that's standing on its own, you might want to start over with that one. So let's continue. Wrap your hook into the same stitch and into the next. Pull off 3 and 2. And then we will just continue this down the line, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, so I have 1 stitch left, and let's go ahead and work that very last stitch in the same manner that we worked all the stitches so far. So wrap your hook, go into the same stitch, and then into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Pull off 3 and 2. And now we're going to turn our work, and again, we're still not chaining up. And so what we're creating here is a tighter fabric here with our double crochet cluster stitch. So what's really going to snug this up is the next stitch that we put in. And originally I started this with a single crochet on the way back, and I did not care for the way it looked. It was just too open of a look for me. So I came up with this one. So we're going to go in with our first stitch and do a single crochet without chaining up, like so. And then we're going to go just like we did before, but we're not going to wrap our hook first. We're just going into that previous stitch that we just worked and into the next stitch and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops. We take off all 3 loops. And again, into the same stitch and grab a loop, and the next stitch and grab a loop and pull off 3. And we just continue that all the way down the line. And this is a pretty quick one right here to do. This single crochet cluster is what I call it. And this is what's creating part of the flower pattern that you're going to see emerge once we start our next row. So go into the same stitch, the next stitch, and pull off 3 loops. And I will continue this to the end, meet you at the end. So we're ready for the last stitch of this row. We could go in and create the same stitch this way, like so. like we've been doing the whole row, but I prefer this row to end with a single crochet. So that's how I'm going to do that. So a single crochet here. Now we're going to turn our work, and the magic will start to happen very soon. This is the right side of your fabric. This is the right side of your double crochet stitch. Now we're going to go in and start exactly how we started our first row. So we're going to go in and pull up a loop and create a single crochet. Grab the back loop here of our single crochet, pull up a loop, and create your second single crochet, your stacked single. I call it my single. And so let's move on and continue with the stitch pattern that we did in our first row. So we're going to wrap our hook, go into the same stitch and into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Pull off 3 and 2, and again into the same stitch, wrap your hook, go into the same stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Pull off 3 and 2 and continue that all the way down the row. And I'm going to show you something really cool in a second. After I do a couple more of these stitches. I was just crocheting this the other day, and I stopped for a second and looked at it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Those are flowers. If you look at these right here, you can see petals or a knot. That's why we call it the forget-me-knot. Forget-me-knot stitch pattern. And all these rows together create that. I think you can kind of see it right here, that flower. But once you put this stitch over it, it really kind of brings it out. So I will continue this all the way down, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll take a look at this gorgeous row of flowers. And again, I'm at the end, and we just wrap our hook, go into that same stitch, and the last stitch on this row is a single crochet, so it's quite small, but it is there. So we go in and grab that loop, pull it through, and pull off 3 and 2. And that completes that row. So you just continue alternating your single crochet cluster and your double crochet cluster. And just keep on going on down the line. So let's take a quick look here at how cute those little flowers are. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. Let me show you the bigger piece while we're here and before I finish up here. So here's my bigger piece that I'm working on here. And let me give you a close-up of that. And then I'm going to show you the back of it as well. So those flowers are really cool. And this fabric, if you look at this and you stretch it out, it doesn't have a lot of holes in it, which is really, really nice. Great for blankets. Scarves would be cool with this stitch. So imagine if you did it this way and you made a scarf out of it. Yes, this would be really, really cute. So the back of it is lovely as well, and I'm going to show you this way. You can see those really nice ridges in there, really nice. So I hope you enjoyed crocheting this with me. Let me know if you give this a try and what kind of yarns you're using, and if you see the flowers popping out on that 1, 2, 3rd row. Well, I guess you have to count your first single crochet row because we didn't do that together. Most of my projects, I start with a long tail foundation chain, which gives you a little bit more stretch here than just starting with a chain. So I hope you try this. Let me know in the comments section if you give this a go, what kind of yarn you're going to try it with, and how it worked out, and if you can see the flowers. I did use a real chunky yarn on this particular pattern, and those flowers just stick out like crazy. They're beautiful. So leave a comment in the comment section. Even if you don't have any questions, we love to hear from you. And give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.